Hi everyone, my name is Tori, this is Novel Life, and welcome back to my channel. Today I have a tag video to share with you, and it is the New Year Booktuber tag. So my friend Jessin over at Jessin Reads Romance, she created this tag, so I'll have her linked down below along with the questions. And I was planning on doing this anyway when I saw her post about it, and I thought it would be a good idea to do this tag mixed with like some of my bookish goals for 2023 because I had a reading/bookish goals video planned anyway. And then my friend Sam from Sam Reads a Little went ahead and did this video and she tagged me. So I was like, perfect, I'm gonna do it. So I hope you enjoy these tag videos. I don't do them often. I only do them when I think that the questions are really interesting and things that you guys want to know. So I think there's like 8 questions. So yeah, let's just go ahead and jump right in. The first question is, what are you most excited for in 2023? And I mean, like for me, it's just reading all new books. I have a lot of good books that I'm like holding off because I've already made my like top 22 of 2022 list, and I don't want to have to change any of those just in case of these like highly anticipated reads that some of my friends have been rating 5 stars. Like if I really like them, I want them to be like next year, so I don't have to change my list, if that makes sense. But I'm really excited for all the books to read. I'm excited for bookish trips that I have planned. I am most definitely going to Book Bonanza. I have my ticket, I have the hotel, I have to buy my flight, but that is one that I am most definitely going to. I was going to go to Readers in Denver, but I don't think I'm going to go to that one. That one's hella expensive. I'm not going to lie. That is really expensive, along with the flight and everything like that. Like the ticket just to get to Readers in Denver, like it's $350. Like they're upping the price in like January, something like that, to $350. That's almost as much as like the flight to get to Denver. So I think I'm going to pass on that one. Also, I'm going to a book signing in Chicago. I don't remember what that one is called. And then I have some other trips planned next year. And yeah, I'm someone that loves to travel. So when I have an excuse to travel, whether that's to see someone or to go to a book signing in a new city or in a different city, I will always take that, because I like to travel. That's what I want to do. I'm also really excited to create content for 2023. Not that like I want to change the way I create content, but I really, really like the content that I've been creating, and I want to like up it a little bit. I want to do like more interesting things, not just always rec videos. And I've said this before, I'm not the most creative person when it comes to making videos. That's not me. I usually like look at my friends and I'm like, ooh, that's a really good idea. Do you mind if I steal it? I'm like, no, I don't care. So that's usually what happens. But I want to try and come up with like my own stuff, or at least original things. I don't know. You guys can let me know about that. That's just a thing. But yeah, I'm just really excited to read more books, talk to more people about books. That's the first question. The second question is, do you have a Goodreads challenge goal, and what is that number, and why is that number? Why is that the number? So I think my Goodreads challenge goal for this year was 200 books, and I'm over 450. And I know that sounds really bad. It's like embarrassing for me to say, because a lot of people are like, how can you read that much? How is that humanly possible? I do have a life. I know a lot of people are like, oh my God, you don't have a life if you read that much. And it's like, no, I do have a life. I have a husband, but we each have our hobbies, and our hobbies coincide with each other. So while he is doing his hobby, I am doing my hobby. And my hobby is reading all the time. I also am lucky that my job is, I work from home, but I also get to listen to audiobooks. I don't have to make that many phone calls and stuff like that. So I am really lucky with that. I'm going to change my goal to 300. I don't want to do 365 as like a book a day, even though I may still meet that. I don't know. I'm going to talk about it in a little bit, but one of my goals is to slow down my reading. So I still love to read, and I love reading good things. And I've noticed this year, while I've read 450 books, I honestly think half of those are less than 3 stars or 3.5 stars. And that makes me sad, because like I want to read good books. I want to read books that like impact me, make me cry, make me emotional, make me excited, and everything like that. Currently, I may be done with the series by the time you see this video, but I'm currently on the 3rd book of the Zodiac Academy series. And I put it off for so long because I was like, oh, I don't know if I'm going to like it. And I was just bored one day and I picked up the 1st book and I'm obsessed. Like, is it the greatest thing I've ever read? No, but I'm having the best time reading it. And I don't know, I'm just loving it. Like, that's the books I want to read. Books that make me like laugh and smile and just have a good time. Also books that make me super emotional. So yeah, I have my Goodreads set at 300 for 2023. I think that's a good number. And the third question is list 3 5-star predictions. So I have Powerless by Elsie Silver, which I feel like a lot of people are going to put on their list. Flawless and Heartless are both 5-star reads for me this year. And Powerless, the teaser that we got at the end of Heartless, I am just so ridiculously excited for. I think it's going to be so good, and Elsie Silver just gets it, and I can't wait to devour that book. I think it comes out in February or March, but I'm ready. I'm ready. The next one I think is going to be a 5 stars, Funny Feelings by Tara DeWitt. Now, this is not from me knowing what the book's about. This is from how all my friends have been telling me that I think you'd really like it. So the audio recently came out, and I have this on my January TBR. So it's going to be one of the first books that I read sometime in January. And I'm really excited for it because just everyone I've known has read it, has really enjoyed it. And I think Jessen's read it, and it took her by surprise. I think that's what she was saying when she was talking about this book. And I try to avoid as much as possible, but I have seen that. The next one and last 5-star predictions I have is A Mile High by Liz Tom Ford. Everyone also keeps telling me I'm going to love this. It's I think this one's a hockey romance, and I've been loving hockey romances, so I just have really high hopes. I think I put this on my January TBR. I don't know if I actually did. I haven't filmed it yet, but I think it's on my January TBR. I ordered this paperback because everyone keeps telling me that I'm going to like it, so I'm like, okay, fine, I'm gonna get it. Question number 4 is what genre, subgenre, or trope do you want to read more of? I mean, I'm a romance girl. I am always going to be a romance girl. I love reading romance. Not going to lie, I haven't read very many historical fiction books. So if you would have followed me back in 2020 and 2021, I posted a lot of historical fiction content. Every once in a while, I do love to read a historical fiction book. I don't know what it is, but most of the historical fiction books I read have a heavy romance plot, which is why I love it. But I also get a little piece of history and a fictional story with that. So I do want to kind of pick up some more historical fiction, but I'm not going to like beat myself up over it if I don't. A subgenre of romance that I want to read is historic romances. So I did not read very many historic romances. I think I finished out the Wallflower series by Lisa Kleypas and the Ravenel series by Lisa Kleypas. And that's probably like the last historicals I picked up. I did pick up a Wallflower Christmas in December, and I really liked that one. It was a 5-star. It was just cool to end up like in the year with the Wallflowers because I finished that series up this year. So I do want to read more historical fiction, but once again, I'm not going to push myself to read it if I'm not feeling it. I really discovered a lot of good dark romances in 2022, and I'm hoping to continue that into 2023 because I'm loving dark romances. Same thing with like hockey or contemporary romances. So I'm really excited for those. Not really tropes. I'm not too picky on tropes, but the next question kind of goes into that. Is what trope do you think will be the most popular in 2023? So I'm going to say this. It's not, I don't really, I mean, I think it is because I'm just like secretly hoping. Friends to Lovers. I love Friends to Lovers. It is one of my favorite things to read. I prefer Friends to Lovers over Enemies to Lovers. I know that's a very unpopular opinion. Don't get me wrong. I do love Enemies to Lovers, but for some reason that Friends to Lovers thing just hits me right in the heart. Also, me and my husband, we were friends before we got together, so I think that's my little bias there. But I do think that Friends to Lovers is going to make a comeback because I feel like in 2021 and 2022, Enemies to Lovers was a really big thing. Also, Second Chance. I think Second Chance is going to be a big thing. I think Sam said this in her tag video, and I totally agree with her. Like, I knew that was going to come just because, like, Powerless by Elsie Silver, that's supposed to be a second chance romance. There's a lot of things that I think we're going to pivot towards, and it's going to be more second chance. And I'm really excited for that because I do love second chance as well. Question number 6 is name 3 bookish goals for 2023. So I'm not going to just name 3 because I actually do have a lot. I have a reading tracking thing on my iPad that I used, and these are just some of my bookish goals really quickly. Slow down on reading. I already talked about that. Like, really digest each book. Don't like, sometimes I get caught up in like all the things I want to read that I'm trying to rush through the book so I can get to the next one because I want to read all these books or I have to for videos. So I want to slow that down. Discover new authors. I am just someone, I love discovering new authors. So at least half the books I read in 2023, I want to be from new authors that I've never read before. Read my physical TBR more. Obviously, all the shelves behind me, they're all romances. I switched all of my historical fiction books out to the shelves by my desk because I needed more room in here and I didn't want to buy another bookshelf. So yeah, read more of my physical TBR. make TBRs I will actually read. I started off the year really good with that, and then towards the end of the year I was just like, yeah, screw the TBRs. Slow down on audio speed. So a lot of the books I listen to on 3x speed, and I think it's because I'm trying to do that thing where I want to get through this book even though I'm really interested in it, because I want to get to the next one so I can keep up with reading and stuff like that, and I just want to slow down more. Another little goal is look through KU and read more new authors, like in Kindle Unlimited. So I used to strictly read in Kindle Unlimited. I did not own physical books at all. I was too poor for that. And all I had was a Kindle Unlimited subscription. I did not even buy books because I didn't want to spend extra money on books like that. So I only read in Kindle Unlimited, and I have found some great authors in Kindle Unlimited, and I think it also helps you discover new authors. And I remember I used to be so caught up with new releases that I would filter by romance books in Kindle Unlimited, sort by new releases, and I would be caught up in reading the books that I found interesting in Kindle Unlimited by that. Now, this was years ago, like 5 years ago, before I was on Bookstagram or Booktuber or anything like that. So I thought it would be cool to like do that once a month, like kind of go through. Obviously, I am more into the Booktube community and Bookstagram community, so I pretty much know indie authors and when they're going to publish things, but I want to like discover newer authors. Like content goals I have are just like continue posting 3 videos a week at least, post more on my community tab. I forget that my community tab is there. Be a little bit more creative with content. That's one. Post on Instagram, post some reels, be more active on TikTok. And I'm actually really proud of myself. One of my big goals for 2022 was at least write a Goodreads review for every book I've read. And if it's one sentence, it still counts. I've read all those books and I've at least wrote one sentence or more. And I want to do more live shows. So those are just some content and bookish goals that I want. But yeah, I don't have any other ones besides that. Like I don't do number goals like for subscribers or followers or like that, just because that's not up to me. I've said this before, it's not up to me. It's like up to you guys if you want to subscribe to me. So I don't like to put that pressure, because then I get let down if I like don't meet that goal or whatever the case may be. I don't really do like, oh, I want to get to X amount of subscribers before the end of the year. I don't throwing that out there. That's just me. I've never been kind of that person to just go with the flow with that. Number 7 is name 3 personal goals for 2023. My main personal goal is health and fitness. That's always a goal for me because of my chronic illness. And I actually started on this goal. I always start my goals for 2023, like my personal goals, ahead of time. I start in November because by the time January comes around, I'm already set in a routine and I'm not getting caught up with everyone else doing their goals that I won't give up in 2 weeks, you know what I mean? So I've taken the last 2 months or so to get back going to the gym, holding myself accountable, and I'm actually pretty proud. I've been going a minimum of 2 times a week. I'm trying to hit 3 before the end of the year. And yeah, I'm just trying to build up my muscles again because I let them go. And yeah, my legs have atrophied just a little bit. But yeah, that's one personal goal. Of course, eat healthy and quit wasting food. It's so hard to buy groceries now because everything is so expensive, but also like wasting food. I hate wasting food and I find myself throwing away things because it goes bad quickly. So I want to be more conscious of that. Do I have another? I don't think I have another personal goal. I don't think I have, so I'll just do 2. The last question is, what do you want to leave behind in 2022? I like the habits that I've created in 2022 with reading and stuff like that. I want to be more present. Like with reading, it kind of goes with that. I don't know, just being so caught up in like the next thing. Like I don't want to be so caught up in like the next book, and I want to leave that behind because I got into that mindset and it kind of messed with my reading a lot. Like I said, I've had a lot of really low star ratings just because I've been trying to get through books. And yeah, I might have read all those books, but not everyone was good and I can't even recommend them and use them for content. So yeah, I just want to leave that behind of like feeling rushed and feeling like I have to get to the next thing. I want to be like more present. So leaving in the rushing fast-pacedness in 2022 and moving into, this is just more personal, and being more like present and stuff like that. But thank you, Jessen, for creating this tag. I think it's actually a wonderful tag to do, especially going into 2023. It's just a fresh new start. Who am I going to tag? You don't have to tag people. I mean, if you want to do it and you're watching this, that's totally fine. Go ahead. You can tag me and I'll watch it. I'm going to tag Jess from Honest Fiction because I want to see her questions because I love her content. And if you don't follow Jess, you need to. I'm going to tag, who else am I going to tag? Ooh, I'm going to tag McKay because I think McKay would, her answers would be really, really cool. And I'll tag Nikki and Bookland and Jess from Peace Love Books. I'll just tag everyone that I know of. Look in the description box for everyone. But thank you so much for watching. The emoji I want you to drop for this video is a firework emoji because it's the New Year Booktuber tag. Like New Year, like fireworks are going off. firework emoji. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure you like and subscribe for more content from me. As always, I hope you're living a novel life, and I will see you in my next one. Bye, guys.